is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, Marcel Louis-Jacques. He is ready to go. He is locked and loaded. He's got his Heat shirt on and everything. I like it. You've dumped Sacramento Queens. It's a beautiful thing, bro.
All right. Easy there. No, the Kings are in town. I think it's March 28th. I will be in the building, and that's the battle for my fanship. The winner takes all being me.
Well, then you're already
I think it's fair.
then. I mean, because it's not like the Kings have a shot. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah, just like the Suns didn't have a shot.
On the court, they're more the Joker than the Kings.
Sticks and stones. Just know I'm pulling up real loud when the Kings get a double-digit win at American Airlines Arena or whatever it's called, the FTX Arena. De'Aaron Fox goes for 30. And we'll see what happens then. The stat line is the stat line from there.
Think about this. Your franchise will never wake up because they play in a place called the Sleep Train Arena. Come on.
Hey, it's Golden One Center now, and it's brand new. It's state of the art, gorgeous.
It is nice. It is nice.
The only time I've ever been to Sacramento since since 2012. Was a couple summers ago. I was at my sister's wedding and took a little detour in downtown Sacramento just to go see it. After so many years of hearing Seattle and Virginia Beach and Las Vegas and all these relocation rumors, I was like, I have to see this thing that we've been, ripping ourselves apart over for the better part of a decade. And it's perfect, man. It is such a gorgeous place. I'm so happy. Unfortunately, it sounds like prices there are as bad as American Airlines, so which is I can understand. I'll pay.
Gotta pay NBA salaries, baby. Come on.
I'll pay $80 to go see the Heat. I'm not gonna pay $80 to go see the Kings.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but anyway, this is my dilemma.
It's all good. We feel your pain. We're Marlins fans also, so we understand what it's like with some rough teams. At times.
$2 tickets.
We have to, and by the way, it's not like our Dolphins really have accomplished much in a long time. So it's our football team's been kind of painful also, by the way.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, it is. But, every now and then when I'm in the box before a game, I'll scroll through the little ticket apps. I forget which one it was, but it had a lower bowl seat for the Dolphins-Texans game going for $20.
Yeah.
Like $20, and it might have been 20 after tax, like 22 after tax.
I believe it. I believe it, dude.
Yeah, that's like almost losing money, man. Like considering the operational costs, if you have to sell lower bowl tickets for $20, it's. Oof.
You're better at home with a can of Edge energy drink in your hand and watching the game. It's a lot cheaper and a lot better. So.
It's just games. I needed some Edge energy.
Yes. Our Dolphins need the edge. So what will give them the edge in free agency now? What do they got to do in free agency? What are you hearing? What are you expecting?
It's funny. I actually I put in a Godfather offer in our ESPN mock free agency simulator. A Godfather offer to Teron Armstead. It's going to catch a couple people by surprise. And please note that I'm not the salary cap expert, but I think that you have bags to give. Go ahead and give one out to the best free agent on the market in Armstead. Anchor that offensive line. Even though it's not to his blind side, he is still a Pro Bowl caliber offensive lineman. That's more than you can say for anybody else they've got on the roster right now. Go ahead and add some stability right there. After that, man, I really don't think they need to make crazy, splashy additions. They don't need to go out and spend all $51 million that they have left. You're going to need about 10 or so, 7 to 10, just to make additions throughout the year, signing vets in the season after if your guys get injured or if a marquee name becomes available, you want to at least make yourself a player in that. So I'm not saying spend all $50 million. But Teron Armstead, I think is a name that they really need to target. Trent Brown, maybe even if he gets out of New England for sure, and could throw him on the right side. That is Tua's blind side protector. They do need another right tackle right now. Jesse Davis is not the move. It doesn't look like Devontae Adams is going anywhere. That's another one I would say throw a Godfather offer at and see what happens. But there's not a lot of these. They don't need to be in on every big name creation. They don't need to be in on Chandler Jones. They don't need to be in on Von Miller. I think that they can address a lot of these needs through the draft, specifically playmaker and wide receiver, running back, all that. But offensive line needs to be taken care of in free agency. Another name that just became available yesterday that I do have some history with. I think the city of Miami also has some history with is John Feliciano. Starting guard for the Bills over the past 3 seasons. They're letting him go. He is a multiple position interior offensive lineman. He can play either guard spot. He can even play center right now, which was a revolving door for the Dolphins last year after Michael Dieter was injured. And really, it hasn't really been a position of stability in quite some time. So I think it's a name that, depends on whether he wants starter money or if he's okay with being a depth piece, because I think to start off the season, he will be a depth piece. But Austin Jackson is not exactly a ironclad lock there at left guard. I don't even think Dieter is an ironclad lock at center. I think this would give opportunity for Feliciano to come back home, former Hurricane, and legitimately compete for a starting spot if Jackson and Dieter struggle at any point during the season.
Feliciano already tweeted out to have the Dolphins call me. So he's already kind of tweeted that out in having a little fun there on social media. What's that?
I talked to him last night. I told him, come on home, man. Come on home. He said he's trying. So, we'll see if that actually materializes. It, like I said, depends on what he's asking for, what kind of role he's willing to settle on. So
he's up there. He's up there in
Dolphins
years now, right? He's already in his low 30s, right?
I don't think so. I think it's late 20s, more like late 20s.
Okay, so if he's late 20s,
I would get somewhere around 28.
Oh, so he still has a good. If he's he's still that young. Oh man, it just seems like a while back that I was at the East-West Shrine game, sitting there with him, and who else was there? It was oh man, what was the name of the kid that Golden made him a defensive tackle, and he was a legacy kid. That he screwed up his career here. He should have been a defensive end, and he made him like a defensive tackle, put all that weight on him. Damn it, what's his name? Anyway, I remember seeing he played for the Steelers for a couple of years. I forgot the damn kid's name, and he's a good kid. Feliciano is 30. He's actually 30, born February 10th of 92 in Davie, Florida.
I don't feel like I thought that he was younger than me, so that's why I guess 28, 29. But either way, I mean, 30 is for an offensive lineman. You're fine.
You still got a couple of years.
You're fine. You got 2 more contracts in.
Oh, I don't know about 2. Damn. Holy crap.
You got
him on that avocado ice cream diet that Brady was on, bro? Is that what you're doing?
You stay healthy, you got 2 more contracts if you at 30. I mean, look, we just saw Andrew Whitworth playing the Super Bowl. He's 43, 44. So, you can do this. Trent Williams is still the best left tackle in the NFL. He's pushing 40 if he's not 40 already. So, I think that you can, it is a position that if you take care of yourself, that you can play for a long time. I'm not saying he doesn't have 2 5-year contracts in him. He doesn't have 2 4-year contracts in him. But, a 2-year and a 3-year, why not?
We had Alan Poupar on before, and he was also very gung-ho on Armstead also. And I like him as a player. But my problem with him would be health. He never plays an entire season. And so he's guaranteed to be out. And that's the one thing that I would be concerned that if I'm Miami, I'm not paying top dollar for a guy that cannot stay healthy. I know he's a player when he's playing, but what if he breaks down on you towards the end of the season and you don't have him for the playoffs? How does that do any good? So that's the one thing that I would be concerned with the Teron Armstead is that injury history.
Yeah, I mean, injuries are part of the game. It's it is tough to stake $90 million into a guy like that. But I think that's what it's going to have to take, man. It's going to take a 4 or 5 year, or probably 4 year, $90-ish million. I think I offered 492 over 4 with something like 60 guarantee. It mirrored the David Bakhtiari contract is basically what I was aiming for here. That we're getting similar levels of production. I just think, maybe Bakhtiari gets a little more shine, a little more notoriety because of, the beer chugging and who he plays for up in Green Bay and wears 69. He's a real fun guy. But, you're going to probably get similar levels of production out of him in Armstead. That's what I modeled this contract after. And, for everybody who sees it and, might flinch a bit, it's just, that's what it costs, man. Left tackle's expensive. And you can afford to make these kind of moves before you have to pay a quarterback. And right now they don't have a quarterback who is, they don't have a quarterback who they're going to be shelling out all that money to. You might as well take advantage of all the space.
By the way, if you want to order a little Edge energy drink, of course, great sponsor of our program. The link is right here on our YouTube page. You can go to myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Great sponsors of our program and of this segment here with Marcel, Louis-Jacques. You start to look at some of the decisions that they've got to make out there. What did you think of this J.C. Jackson story? Because I have a hard time believing they're going after him. And then I know this Byron Jones stuff was being written. The team had to have known for a while already about that injury and the surgery and all of that. Unless you know something I don't, or maybe something's going on with X, then maybe there isn't a deal going to happen and they're going to move him. I have a hard time believing that they're also going to spend that kind of money on J.C. Jackson. So what'd you think of that story?
Yeah.
And how could that even
I don't really
happen?
I don't see a scenario in which J.C. Jackson and Xavier Howard play alongside each other in Miami. That's significant capital. And I feel like we've talked about this before. That is significant capital into the cornerback position. And I know that these like ball hawking press type corners are the reason why Miami can do what it does and what it's been able to do on defense. But man, there is such thing as too high of a cost. And it's not going to be cheap to move on from Byron Jones. You have to trade him if you want to sign J.C. Jackson. The problem there is teams know that you have to trade him. So you're not going to get anywhere near value for a player of his caliber. He's still, maybe he's a tad overpaid in Miami. It is what it is. I think you have to overpay to get people to join rough situations. This was a rough situation when he signed. But either way, he's still one of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. Like, I think there are teams out there who, if Jones was their number one cornerback, they'd be happy. Go ask Seattle if they'd be happy with that. Go ask Kansas City. There's a number of teams that would love to have him as their number one corner, but they're not going to give you third, fourth round pick when they know that, okay, you have to shed salary. How desperate are you? Right. So, and I saw a suggestion, some people on a couple Madden GMs were saying, move Jones to safety and Jackson to corner. And again, this is not Madden. You're not paying $50 million to 3 members of your defensive secondary. No. That's not going to happen. And it's to everybody who looks at the Rams and says, look what the Rams did. Screw the cap. They just won a Super Bowl. The Rams are way readier to compete than the Dolphins are right now. These are not comparable situations. They should not be comparable strategies, team building strategies. Don't even ignore the city of Los Angeles. It doesn't exist. Don't look at them. Don't compare yourself to them. The Dolphins are in a completely different space. So I'm not paying too much attention to it. I'm not giving too much credence to it. Wherever he goes, I'm sure he's going to earn top dollar. You already got one corner who wants top dollar. Why the hell are you going to want another one to compete with? You think X wants to once again be the second highest paid cornerback on his team? Oh, God, no. So the only way I see them getting J.C. Jackson is if they are able to trade Xavier Howard and then are in the market for another corner.
And by the way, that would be the only way you do it. Why? Because X is the one that's going to bring you back multiple picks. Whereas Byron Jones, when you're trying to trade him, teams are going to say, oh, so you're trying to open up cap space. So you won't have the same leverage trying to trade Byron Jones than you will X, because X's contract right now is very manageable in a trade. And then you can then play with the new deal that you have to give him down the line. With Byron Jones, that's a whole different monster there. And that's what people don't understand. That's why it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's why, yeah, JC could be here, but then you're telling me there is no X deal, and what there is an X trade coming any second now.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, and also like they can save a little bit of money if they release Byron Jones and designated him as a post June 1st release, but you're not able to access those funds. You're not able to access that saving until June 1st. So it would kind of handcuff them a bit in this free agency market during free agency. So it's just not worth it, man. If you want to move on from Byron Jones, you've got an out next year where I think it's only a $4 million dead cap hit or something like that instead of 14 like it is this year. Just eat it, man. Figure things out with Xavier Howard. Don't need J.C. Jackson. You got the cornerbacks were not really the problem last year. They were banged up a bit. Don't get me wrong, but I think that they really got something with this secondary. They really are on their way to being one of the better secondaries in the NFL with Howard and Jones, both Joneses and Holland, and maybe even Nick Needham if they're able to bring him back.
All right, Marcel Louis-Jacques joining us, by the way. You can follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Marcel, when you look at the wide receiver position, they need a wide receiver or two. Are you expecting them to be a player in free agency for a top tier wide receiver that may become available, that is available or may become available? Like, obviously Cooper could be the guy that's also available if he's released from Dallas. How active do you expect him to be in the draft? I mean, in the wide receiver spot, will it be more about free agency or will it be about the draft?
I think that as far as addressing that position, there's a couple names that they could get in the draft. It depends on how the cards fall. If teams are really down on Jameson Williams' health and he's available at 29, I think you take him and you don't think twice about it. If a guy like Treylon Burks is available there at 29, I think you take him and you don't think twice about it. The issue is the issue with solving it in free agency, which I would have loved for them to do if I was a Dolphins fan, is like I was saying, Devontae Adams is not looking like he's going to be available. Chris Godwin, franchise tag, he's not available. You already don't like Odell Beckham Jr. You've made your thoughts known on that, even though I think he'd be a good number 2 here.
I just told you I can't count on Teron Armstead. And he's not half crazy. So how the hell am I going to count on Odell Beckham, who's also breaks down and is half crazy?
I don't think Odell's crazy. Odell just played in Cleveland.
He's proposing the kicking nets and then getting in fights with kicking nets.
He's just showing him.
How is that not crazy?
He's fine. Like, he's not Antonio Brown. Like, I think he's more stable than he gets credit for.
He's not that crazy.
I think Amari Cooper, if he's cut, then bring him in however you can. I think that is a perfect compliment to Jalen Waddle, a guy that is good after the catch, a guy who creates separation. That's my issue. That's my issue with bringing in, like, why can't I think of the name? Allen Robinson. Because Allen Robinson, despite the bad quarterback play he's had to deal with over the past couple of years, he doesn't separate. He doesn't create after the catch. He's a great jump ball receiver. Like, he's a big physical guy. But I think that the NFL is starting to shy a little bit away from the big, strong receivers of old, man. Like, this isn't the Terrell Owens days where your receivers had to be 6'3", 220.
Not durable. Not durable, by the way.
And not durable. So, and neither is Amari Cooper, but I think Amari is, I would rather have Cooper than Allen Robinson based on what Mike McDaniel and Frank Smith and Wes Welker want their wide receivers to do, which is separate and create after the catch. And when you look at those metrics, Amari Cooper is among the best receivers in the NFL since he entered the league. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Dallas, the only reason he's available is because Dallas fumbled their cap situation. Like, this isn't like he did anything wrong. It's just they signed him to what, $20 million a year or something absurd that maybe they couldn't afford. They went all in and failed, and now they've got scrambled. So I do what it takes to get Amari Cooper. I think adding him and Jalen Waddle to the mix is it's night and day from it's night and day from what he's had to work with over the past 2 years.
And unlike Odell and AB, Cooper is normal. So we'll do that. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Catch his work there at ESPN and catch him twice a week doing his thing here, giving you the edge with our Edge Energy drink. Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Marcel, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. See you Monday.
Dolphins, you now have the edge.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big